Next we'll move on to modification of leaf. How leaves are modified. There are many interesting features in this. First one, leaves are modified to store the food, storage of food. Leaves are modified to store the food. That is nothing but onion. Garlic. Onion is best example. Onion, though it grows underground, it is actually leaf. The pink color onion, what we consume is actually the leaf. Like this, we call it as leaf. So you might have seen, it is like this. This is the pink color leaf. And we consume it because it stores food in it in the form of starch. This is below the soil layer. Above the soil layer it is green in color. That is also leaf. It's a continuation of this leaf. This is green in color. Take part in photosynthesis. And these leaves, they cannot take part in photosynthesis as they do not get sunlight. They help in storage of food in the form of starch. So this is one modification of the leaf. Then second modification of leaf. Second one. Leaves are modified into spines. Leaves are modified into spines. We can give example of cactus. This is a cactus which grows in desert area. Here, these are spines, very sharp one. These spines are nothing but actually, these are spines, but they are modified leaves. Why leaves are modified into spines there? What would have happened if instead of spines, if leaves would be there? If leaves were there, the broad leaf, by this, one process would take place. What is that? Transpiration. We know what is transpiration. Loss of water from the surface of the leaf. Why? Because on the surface of leaf or the leaves, there are small openings, and those openings are called as stomata. So through stomata, loss of water take place, and that process is called as transpiration. If transpiration take place in these plants which grow in desert, then that plant may die, because in desert there is scarcity of water. So what these plants should do? They should conserve whatever water available within them. They should not allow these water to go out in the form of transpiration. So what they have to do? They have to modify their broad leaf into thin spine-like structure. This is another modification of leaf. Third one. Same like stem. Leaf is also modified. Leaf is also modified into tendrils. Leaves are also modified into tendrils, as in pea plant. Okay, again it is for support, wire-like structure support. Then fourth one. In case of some of the insectivorous plant like pitcher plant, one of the insectivorous plants. What are insectivorous plants? Plants which can consume insect to fulfill the necessity of nitrogen to their body. So these plants generally grow in such area where there is scarcity of nitrogen. In that area they need nitrogen. What they do, especially pitcher plant, pitcher is nothing but the leaves are modified in the shape of a pitcher. Pitcher means jug. Jug. Okay, so leaf will be somewhat like jug, and the insect they come and fall into this, in this pitcher. They get trapped. Then from this leaf, some leaves are modified to digestive glands. Some digestive juices are released, and they digest all these insects. And from that they absorb the nitrogen that they require. So all these are the modification of leaves. Now one more thing, there is something called as phyllotaxy. What is phyllotaxy? Arrangement of leaves on the nodes or on the stem is known as phyllotaxy. Arrangement of leaves at the nodes on the stem. Arrangement of leaves at the nodes on the stem is known as phyllotaxy. And the purpose of phyllotaxy is so that a tree or a plant may contain hundreds of leaves and all the leaves should get exposed to sunlight. One leaf should not overlap the other. So what they do, they arrange in such a way that each and every leaf gets sunlight directly. Such type of arrangement of leaf is called as phyllotaxy. There are three types in that. First one, alternate. Second one, opposite. Third one, alternate, opposite, hold. Hold. Very simple it is. We have seen all these types, but we have not observed with such interest. Okay. So alternate. Alternate type of leaves are seen in case of hibiscus. How is this alternate? I'll tell you. Suppose this is stem. These are nodes. Okay, these are nodes. One leaf at each node. Single leaf at single node. One leaf at each node arranged alternatively like this. If this is one leaf, another leaf this side. Another leaf this side. Another leaf this side. This is here and there alternately. And one leaf at one node is called as alternate. And we can clearly see it in case of hibiscus. You might have seen it in case of hibiscus. Okay. Second one, opposite. What is that opposite? Suppose this is the stem. Okay. And these are nodes. Okay. These are nodes. Now, two leaves in one node. Two leaves in single node. That too they are arranged in opposite direction. This is one leaf, another leaf opposite direction. Second leaf, see, opposite. Like this. So this is called as opposite. We can see it in case of calotropis or in guava. We can see this type of what you call phyllotaxy. And now the last one, hold. Hold means one node more than two leaves. 3, 4. Now this is say stem. These are nodes. I'll take one node here. See, this is one leaf, second leaf, third leaf. Several leaves at single node. This is called as hold. So to conclude once again, phyllotaxy is the arrangement of leaves at the node on the stem. We should remember stem always contains node. These are called as nodes from where the new leaf or the new branch arises. These are called as nodes. I'll write N. And the distance between two nodes is called as internode. I have written IN. Distance between two nodes is called as internode. So in alternate, one leaf at each node, that too alternatively. Opposite, two leaf at each node in opposite direction. Hold more than two leaf at each node. Okay. And it is spread like this. So the purpose of phyllotaxy, as I told you earlier, it is only to expose the leaf, each and every leaf, to sunlight.